No perfect seasons. What's going on? It's Commissioner Flex, League Manager, here to bring you guys your Week 7 edition of the Fantasy Flex. You guys may be asking what's up with the Knicks hat. It is NBA tip-off week, that's why I'm rocking it. However, don't change it. This is your No Perfect Seasons Week 7 NFL Fantasy Football League Fantasy Flex. So let's get into the standings for last week and through last week. Right now in the North Division, that's being headed by the Orlando Pain, who are standing there tall with a 6-1 record. But one game behind him would be the Bronx Giants, who are 5-2. Then you got the Florida Sharks, who are 4-3, 2 games back in the division, followed by Team Woodruff, 3-4, 3 games back. And then you got the New York Hitmen, who are 2-5, 4 games back in the division. Now we move on over to the South Division. You got the K-Town Predators, who are also holding that down at 6-1. So we've got 2 6-1 teams in the league so far. However, the next team behind him is 3-4, 3 games back in the division. And then you got the Tallahassee Expendables, 2-5, 4 games back. The Lake Greats, 2-5, 4 games back. And the 82s, 2-5, all 3 teams 4 games back in the division. So everything is still possible, I guess. And we'll get up into the matchups for last week's matchups during Week 7. Last week's matchup put the Florida Sharks up against the Orlando Pain. Thought I had an actual chance of taking Ron out and giving him another loss, but it didn't happen that way. My bench wasn't strong enough. The score in that matchup was 134-143. Leading score for the Florida Sharks, Drew Brees with 20 points. Leading score for the Pain, goddamn Hakeem Nicks, who came back on Monday night and pretty much buried me. Next matchup put the 82s up against the Bronx Giants. That matchup went to the Giants, 143-117. The leading score for the 82s was the Browns defense with 24 points. Well, that's a first, I think. Leading score for the Giants, Ben Roethlisberger with 25 points. Moving on up to the next matchup, that put the K-Town Predators up against the Lake Greats. Leading score for the K-Town Predators was Ryan Fitzpatrick, of all names. Wow. With 38 points. Leading score for the Lake Greats, Carson Palmer with his 37. Well, that's mind-boggling right there. Fitzpatrick did better than Carson Palmer. And we'll move on up to the next matchup, our 4th matchup of last week. That put the Woodruff up against the New York Hitmen. Closest matchup of the week. Matchup was decided by 3 points. The New York Hitmen, however, taking that matchup 158-155. Leading scorer for the Wood was Matt Ryan with 28. Leading scorer for the Hitmen, Darren McFadden, putting up a 51 spot. Half a hundred, you know what I'm saying? And then we got the last matchup of the week, which was between the Tampa Bay Bulls and the Tallahassee Expendables. Another close matchup. That one went to the Bulls, however, 153-146. Leading scorer for the Bulls was Joe Flacco with 26 points. Leading scorer for the Expendables, Roddy White with 33 points on last Sunday's game. Now we move on up into the previews for this week's matchup. Got the New York Hitmen, who are 2-5, going up against the Florida Sharks, who are 4-3. Second matchup pits the 6-1 Orlando Pain up against the 3-4 Bulls. So that's going to be a tough matchup for the Bulls. However, all matchups should be tough as long as everybody's active and participating and doing what they're supposed to be doing. Third matchup, you got the 2-5 Tallahassee Expendables taking on the 2-5 Lake Greats. So let's see what happens in that matchup. Somebody will not be 2-5 next week. Somebody will have a better and worse record than what they came in with, folks. And then we go into a 4th matchup, which pits the 2-5 82s up against the 3-4 The Woodruff. Let's see what happens in that matchup. The Woodruff has been coming out strong the past couple of weeks, making transactions, making moves. So, I mean, it's hard, but you got to keep it active, keep it moving. And in our last matchup of the week, the heavyweight matchup, I guess you can say, between 2 top teams would be the Bronx Giants, who are standing at 5-2, taking on the K-Town Predators, who are 6-1. So let's see if somebody can gain ground, somebody drops down. You already know how it is. This has been the Week 7 edition of the Fantasy Flex. I'd like to thank all you guys for tuning into the show. Like I said, I do this for y'all. Y'all already know. And, yo, it's tip-offs week. NBA season underway. See what happens. Another reminder, just if y'all inside the basketball leagues, just try and sign in, keep it active, keep your rosters moving. Everybody will greatly appreciate that, I'm assuming. And this is Flex. Week 7 edition done. Moving on week 8. And Flex out.